So, I'm going to pull back the curtain on this video series so far. The first and second parts have been recorded in the same day as I'm recording this. I'm only taking a break of like an hour or two between recording sessions because I can't do one huge fucking recording session. I'm a masochist, not fucking insane. So, yeah. Once more into that fucking breach. We merry band of fucking brothers. Let's go back to this clusterfuck that's called a book written by someone who you would say is a person, Dave Nordahl, Warcorpse 666, or his most recent channel, Lord of Patriarchy. And where we left off was him shitting on Jaden Smith. And now we're going to go to Kathy Griffin. So, Kathy Griffin. How the fuck did you make it on my list of real celebrities, Kathy? You're not as bad as Joan Rivers because at least you embrace your D-list status. Even though, she was, doing the shit on, was it MSNBC or CNN with Anderson Cooper. Up until the point when she shit on Donald Trump, which was a bridge too fucking far. Unlike Joan, you seem to accept and be fine with your status as of mediocrity. Unlike you, of course. For that reason, I actually like you, Kathy. I also don't think your stand-up is all that bad either. You accept that you'll always barely be a celebrity, and that's nice. Good for you, girl. Condescending as fuck. Again, from someone who isn't famous, will never be famous, will never reach the highs of Kathy fucking Griffin. But let's shit on Kathy Griffin, even though I'm a miserable alcoholic in the middle of Minnesota. Or wherever the fuck you spawned from, or where you live. The only thing I do hope to see out of you that would grab a few headlines. Would actually like to see you complete that blowjob on Anderson Cooper you started back during the New Year's Eve celebration of 2014. Something to think about. So basically what you want to see is Anderson Cooper getting a blowjob, which breaks tradition with your whole, I want to see women kiss each other because I don't want to see another man's dick. Which to me means you want to see Anderson Cooper's dick, which just speaks to your self-hatred. So. Next person, Ann Coulter. Where the fuck do I start with this bony twat? I mean, she sits there and spews out that her books are so brave and she goes where other people don't dare. That she'll speak up against both parties if need be. Easy to do when both parties, Republican and Democrat, are full of fucking morons. At least most people in the Democratic Party or Republican Party can string together a coherent English sentence that doesn't involve humongous grammatical and spelling errors, Warcorpse. Despite her assurances her books are nothing more than 200 plus pages of the same crap that you can read on any blog or any other book, including your book, it's written, you fucking moron, by conservative author. Her talking points are as redundant as a fucking merry-go-round. Even though merry-go-rounds aren't redundant, because the merry-go-round's purpose is to spin in a circle. That's not redundancy. You dipshit. Redundant is, you writing how many fucking books bitching about the same fucking topic. Or you making the same fucking videos for however long you've had a fucking channel. That's redundancy, a fucking merry-go-round is not redundant. It's functioning, it's one thing that's functioning as it should be, Seriously. Ugh. How many times can you beat the conservatives, our virtuous guardians of good and liberals, our harbingers of the devil drum? She doesn't say anything new or give a new twist or on anything that hasn't been said by Hannity, Beck, Jones or the godfather of it all, Limbaugh, who's not dead yet, sadly. I almost said happily, but whatever the fuck. The only thing that you can actually say about this woman that is different is her friendship with Bill Maher. That to me, however, doesn't make you a unique voice in the river of pandering bullshit. Again, saying a guy who panders to fucking anti-feminists and fucking MRAs and other miserable sacks of shit on the internet, but... The books she writes are no different than the hundreds of others that other conservative authors write. These damn books are published about once a week. How many points can there be? Well, nuance and shit is lost on you, Warcorpse. And those books would be redundant if they are all about the same fucking thing. That's redundancy. A merry-go-round's not fucking redundant. You Neanderthal skulled fuck. Learn what words mean. Open a fucking dictionary once in your fucking life. What amazes me is how many people buy books that bring up the same point over and over again. Even though that's fucking basically your fucking... Like, people presumably have bought your shitty fucking book, or your books, because you've written multiple books. Fucking holy shit. Okay. Moving on. I wonder how much research Anne actually does for her books, or if she just shits something on the page because the fucking mortgage is due. Which, I love this shit, doing research. You fucking said at the start of this fucking book it wasn't researched. You're just basically going on fucking thought, which is not a great thing to do when you're writing a fucking book. I wonder how much research... Her average book is 294 pages of filler, leaving 6 pages for the actual argument the book is trying to make. Which, that means you've... That at least makes me assume you've read Ann Coulter's books, because you can speak so authoritatively on it, unless you're just talking from your fucking ass again. Which, fucking is not shocking. Even then, the point of the book is no different. Oh my god, your writing comprehension, your writing ability is fucking piss poor to the point when it legitimately is. And I'm not joking. It's making me want to become an alcoholic. Just to drive this shit from my fucking brain. Like, I haven't binge drank since my dad died. And you're making me want to do that shit again. You want me to get blackout fucking drunk again. Because of your shitty fucking prose. Your shitty sentence structure, your shitty spelling errors, your shitty grammatical fucking errors. Shit that, like, a fucking 10-year-old should be able to figure out is fucking wrong. There's no different what's said 24/7 on the news and radio. I'm assuming what that's supposed to be is no different than what's said on 24/7, or said 24/7 on the news and radio. Plus, whatever she writes, 1,000 other people have done 1,000 other times. How many fucking ways can you say Obama sucks and George Bush is great? Well, which George Bush? Because there's 2 George Bushes. There's George W. and George H.W. H.W. is the older, and people also, call him George the Elder and, George the Younger for his dumb fucking son. Reagan, not Reagan, like Regan. Like, how fucking hard is it to find out how to spell Ronald Reagan's last fucking name? Was the greatest person since Jesus. Liberals are evil, godless communists, and conservatives are virtuous, true Americans. I don't know what's worse, the fact that she writes the same book every time, or the fact that people buy it each and every time. Because supporting people you agree with is fucking dumb. That's not to say that liberals don't do the same thing. How many times can you buy a book with Al Gore saying, "We're all gonna die," bunch of exclamation points, and all in caps. America, think for yourself. If that means, thinking like you, I'm gonna go and think, I'm gonna go to a fucking, I'm gonna buy books and expand my vocabulary and, my understanding of the world instead of, I'm just gonna smack my fucking hands against the keyboard and expect shit to get fucking wrote. as you would fucking put it. America, think for yourself. Don't believe something because some blonde bitch that sucked the publishers and a fat radio host dicks wrote it in a book. Which, again, I love this shit. Women can't get anywhere unless they suck dick. Like, are you putting some, like, shit of your own... Like, do you want to suck these dicks? Like, seriously, I'm not... It's fine if you're gay. I'll still fucking shit on you because Milo's fucking gay and he's a piece of shit. So, it'll be... Yeah, it will just be the same old shit between us two. Jay Leno. Jay, just have one question to ask you. What's it like to hit the hat trick at NBC? I mean, I believe you've quit, retired, and got fired. That's a hell of an accomplishment. I mean, you've also been the one to be screwed and then screw others. You've done damn near everything at NBC except burn it to the ground. In the same decade, you've gone from being the most beloved late-night talk show host to being the most hated late-night talk show host. That's a hell of a ride. I mean, you go in a very short space of time, a guy that had NBC saying they'd move one of its staples, The Tonight Show, from a traditional... Jeez. He literally... This is 2 sentences when it should be 1. From a traditional time slot that it's had for over 40 fucking years, all for you. Then a little while later, those same people at NBC kicked your fat ass out the door. It's really amazing when you think about it. And then they're... Like, his formatting is... I can't say this enough. It aggravates the shit out of me. And, like... It's no wonder he's shitting on publishers when he probably couldn't get the shit to a publisher. Even Alex Jones wouldn't fucking publish this shit. Because it's less coherent than Alex fucking Jones. Harrison Ford. You know I was going to bring some shit up and slaughter Harrison Ford, but he's my mother's and sister's favorite actor. So considering the shit I'll get every Christmas, I'm not going to. So Harrison, consider yourself lucky. Which, again, this came up in the Discord that I'm in. That means that your family reads your shit, which is maybe... Are they just as illiterate as you are, motherfucker? Is it genetic? Your fucking inability to spell shit correctly or function as a human fucking full-formed adult, like... And then there's just a bunch of white space, like... Then it's the next page, for fuck's sake. David Schwimmer. Like, I love this shit. Jay Leno, David Schwimmer, and Nicolas Cage is the next fucking person in this shit. So, what the fuck happened to your career? I mean, you went from playing Ross on Friends, one of the highest rated shows on television, and this should be all one sentence, to playing the guidance counselor and apt pupil, to playing a role in 6 Days, 7 Nights, and then nothing that anyone has heard of. One TV show, which there should be a comma, 2 movies, and you were ready to call it quits. It's just as well David Schwimmer couldn't act his way out of a gorilla's nutsack, which... How does one act oneself out of a gorilla's nutsack, exactly? I, for one, am glad that he's fucked off into the sunset. I wish you would. Anybody who thinks I'm wrong about this, just look at the 2 films. Watch both of them, and you won't see a new character. You'll see Ross. That's the only thing that Davy Boy can play. Ross. I will give the skinny fucker this. At least he had the common decency to fuck off before he became completely annoying. Again, I wish you would fucking do this, Warcorpse. Nicolas Cage. When David Schwimmer failed, you succeeded, Mr. Cage. You play the same guy... Play the same guy, damn character in every single movie, yet somehow you keep finding work. He's actually somewhat of a good actor. Maybe people just want to see him fucking completely lose his shit sometimes. How the fuck this is possible is quite frankly beyond me, but you're still here. Because he's at least a competent actor? Maybe it's because you were one of the first just to play themselves instead of act. That would certainly explain how a C-lister keeps getting A-list work, which... said from someone who's not on the fucking list to begin with. If you're a fan of Nick Cage, you're probably getting pissed with me by now. Just ask yourself the following. What performance by Cage has moved you? Fuck. Lord of War was actually really good. Him in The Wicker Man was alright. And like, who the fuck what exactly moves you, Warcorpse? I want to fucking know. Like, would Grave of the Fireflies fucking move you to tears? Would 12 Years a Slave make you fucking uncomfortable? Or would you be like, yeah, those fucking niggers are where they fucking deserve to be? You know, is it fucking, considering how much you fucking hate Black Lives Matter and Colin Kaepernick for doing nothing other than raising awareness about shit that fucking affects him, and, you know, people who share the same fucking skin color as him. What performance has really been powerful? What performance of his left some little mark on cinema history? Oh, well, Raising Arizona. Fuck. It's not Moonlight. Fuck. Yeah, like, Raising Arizona is a pretty good movie. It's fucking weird. The Wicker Man at least gave us the bees. Shit. You know, that weird fucking thing. He's been an actor for a while. Again, more than you can fucking say. You know, your acting is as wooden as a fucking piece of particle board. Fuck it. What movie that Cage was in that you can say only Nick Cage could play that? Face Off. There probably isn't one because Cage doesn't play characters. In every movie he does, he's playing Nick Cage, which I love. I love you think you know what he's fucking like behind camera. It's like, he's just playing Nick Cage. So why does Cage still get on A-list movies? Fuck me, dude. Seriously. Learn how to fucking get someone. You don't have to get an editor. Just get someone who can fucking read better than you can to just critique your shit before you post it on the fucking internet. And David Schwimmer can't open up a local theater, maybe because Cage sucked a little more Illuminati dick than Schwimmer. And there's an extra I there that I think is in Schwimmer, because it's Seiwimmer, which I think is one I more than there is in Schwimmer, but I don't fucking know. And I love, like, do you really believe in the Illuminati? Like, I don't know if you're fucking with us at this point, because you bring up the Illuminati earlier, and you're in favor of the Illuminati with the Alex Jones thing to wind him up if he ever fucking sees this shit, or if he has seen this shit. Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons, the bass player behind the most overrated band in history, Kiss. They're not overrated. They're overrated, but they're not the most overrated. Yeah. That'd be like Guns N' Roses or any music that you fucking like is probably overrated. They're the only band that deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but not for musical talent. The reason they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is... Come on, fucking piece of shit. Because they invented merchandising. Did they really? Did they? They invented the art form of selling out. Again, did they? Really? Gene Simmons was behind most of this, and he found ways to slap Kiss on fucking everything. In the 70s, there wasn't a product out there that Kiss wasn't on. For Christ's sakes, they got a made-for-TV movie starring them. Has the merchandising slowed down since that time? Hell no. Gene Simmons has found ways to keep slapping Kiss on everything imaginable. The second that a product is made for marketing, you can bet that Kisses will have their own version of it. So Gene, while you're a genius at marketing and getting a mediocre band pushed to the fucking moon, you're just a real asshole in real life. In life, aren't you? I love it when this motherfucker actually says with a straight face that the fans owe him. That's right, that we all owe him a debt of gratitude. Well, one of your songs entertains me, or you give me a fucking job, then I'll be grateful, not before. I mean, you have every right to make as much money as you want. You even have every right to be proud of that fact. You even have the right to have the arrogant ass opinion that the world owes you a fucking blowjob because you hire people and pay more taxes. Which he might be. He might have a tax shelter. Just as I have the right to call you a cocksucking motherfucker for said opinion. Just so you're aware, Kiss fans and everyone else in the world owes you jack shit. Let's take a look at how you treat your fans. How long has it been since the new Kiss album? Well, one, they're older. They actually had a recent album, or at least they were part of a recent album. It was a weird, fusion thing with Momiro something Z. I forgot what the fucking... It's that. It's them and Kiss. And there's anime Kiss in that music video. And it's weird. But it's cool. I honestly like it more because of Momiro something Z. I forgot what the second word is. But yeah. They go to your concerts to pay exorbitant fees and prices just to listen to the same fucking songs you've been playing for 40 fucking years. Not every band has to make new music. One more thing, Gene, and this is just a personal note. Would you kindly stop wearing sunglasses indoors, you fucking douchebag? You're not cool, you're not young, you're not hip, you're old. And it looks fucking stupid. Right back at you, Warcorpse. Especially the fucking stupid trench coat you wore in your most recent video on your most recent channel. I'll give a pass if you wore them due to a medical condition, but you don't. You know this because of Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. Yet another thing he made his own after it was a proven moneymaker with the Osbournes. In that show, you are seen several times without your fucking sunglasses on. Your eyes are just fine in the light, so quit trying to look cool. It isn't working for you anymore. God, how long have I been fucking recording? 21 minutes. Alright, I'll go for a little bit longer. The Undertaker, a.k.a. Mark Calloway, which I'm pretty sure you spelled Calloway wrong, but I'm not sure. I don't feel like Googling. This probably won't take very long to write. First off, Mark, why in the fuck did you give the streak to Brock Lesnar? What possible fucking motive did you have to give the streak to one of the biggest pieces of shit in WWE history? I mean, you probably hate him for varying reasons. Anyway. Giving the streak to a younger guy might have been a risk, but it would have made more sense. Hell, Cena would have been a better choice than Lesnar. At least Cena cares about the wrestling business, as far as you know. The only reason that Lesnar's there is because he needs money. Remember, he married the money pit known as Sable. The first chance that Brock got, he left the WWE. So did Goldberg, by the way, but you're not giving shit to Goldberg. He couldn't cut it in the NFL, and so he moved on to MMA. He would still be in the UFC if it weren't for his illness. He actually recently went back and got popped for steroids. The only reason he's at WWE is he has no other choice. Then you and Vince decided to give them the street. Why? I think we'll get an answer until you officially retire. I'm assuming that's supposed to be we won't. Like, we'll not get an answer. Speaking of retirements, Taker, I think it's about time. Your last match at WrestleMania, you looked bad. That's not to say that you were a bad wrestler. You're one of my favorites. You are one of my favorites. I've always liked you, but hell, age catches up with everyone. How old are you, Warcorpse, and how old do you look? You look like a middle-aged alcoholic, and you're probably like maybe mid-30s and an alcoholic. I don't want to see one of my favorite wrestlers either A, become a joke in the ring like so many others have become. Sorry, it's pretty much... Taker was a joke before this shit. Or B, get seriously permanently hurt. You've done enough for the business of professional wrestling. It's time to retire and move on to whatever else you would like to do. Just don't stay too long like Ric Flair did, even though he's still in the wrestling business. Rick may have been one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestlers to lace up a pair of boots, but he stays long after his prime, and welcome we're gone. What the fuck? Don't make the same mistake. I'd argue don't be an alcoholic like Ric Flair and, don't grow people, but not just me. Pat Sajak, which I'm pretty sure is not how you spell Sajak. I'll actually Google this. Pat? Oh, holy shit. Pat, that's actually how you spell Pat Sajak. Interesting. That just looks like Sajak to me, not Sajak. How does it feel to be the undisputed king of the blue-haired old biddy crowd? I mean, Pat's been doing the wheel for the last 30 plus years. So on and on he goes from one biddy generation to the next. Not even Lawrence Welk could pull that off. I don't know who the fuck Lawrence Welk is. There's also something else odd about Pat. It is not just his enduring love from anyone collecting Social Security. It's the fact he doesn't age. You know, plastic surgery is the thing. Maybe it's as a result of Botox and plastic surgery, or maybe at Wheel of Fortune, time stands still. Vanna White has been on there damn near as long. She's 50 plus, and she still looks great. I mean, any straight man from 65 to 18 would fuck the shit out of her. Are you saying you have a granny fetish? Nothing wrong with that. Just if Pat and Vanna sacrificed kittens to a fallen god in exchange for youth, it wouldn't shock me. Gwyneth Paltrow, who I actually don't like, but again, probably for varying reasons than Warcorpse. Gwyneth Paltrow is a living definition of in the Hollywood system for way too fucking long. Fuck me. It's a definition of in the Hollywood system for way too fucking long. For this, I'll leave aside her belief that negative comments are equal to being shot at on the battlefield. While Gwenny really does think that people speaking bad about her is the same as a soldier getting shot at, then this should send her straight to the traumatic stress ward, even though she probably won't read this. What I want to talk about for this particular book is her cookbooks. Some people think that she either writes them down herself or creates the recipes herself. The answer is neither of them. She is both a ghost author and a ghost chef. Sure, there are photos of her cooking, and maybe she came up with the idea for the dish. However, the recipe for said dish was made by the chef hired to help with the book. She's also one of these Hollywood people trying to ram down regular America's throats that we need to eat a super clean and healthy diet devoid of anything resembling real flavor. Despite the fact that you can have good food and actually it be tasty. Just because you fucking fry everything that you put in your fucking mouth. Easily forgetting that not everyone's ass is as pampered as hers. Sorry, Gwen, but most of us don't have a private chef to cook these overly complicated meals. You say that as you have a fucking food cooking fucking YouTube channel. And you don't need to have a private chef? Maybe she does cook her own shit. You don't fucking know that. You're assuming. Because you're a petty piece of shit. We don't have a market that carries the rare and overly complicated ingredient, which you probably have fucking, you know, a substitute item for, let alone the money to buy the rare and often triple expensive ingredients. At least Gordon Ramsay can actually fucking cook the shit he writes in his books. He may have a ghostwriter for the text, but at least he comes up with the recipes himself. Gwyneth Paltrow does none of that. Gordon Ramsay's a fucking, you know, chef, and Gwyneth Paltrow's an actress. It wouldn't shock me if that stupid bitch couldn't make a bowl of fucking SpaghettiOs. Well, you know, You'd make it, but you'd deep fry it, probably. You fat piece of shit. Yeah, because she lives this pampered, sheltered bubble living Hollywood life. She feels she can talk to everyone else about nutrition and what to feed their family. Hey, you know what, you dumb blonde airheaded cunt? Just because we enjoy rare steak and burgers doesn't mean going to drop over dead next week. Before you start going on about how everyone else should or shouldn't eat, maybe you should learn to fucking cook yourself. Again, you're assuming she can't cook. You won't, though. You'll sit there, pocket the money, and get smug self-delusion that you helped people. Oh, we'll get to your fucking motivational book soon enough, probably. If I finish this pile of shit. Which, at this rate, it's probably gonna be like 6 fucking videos. Because I'm already 50 pages into an 148 fucking page book. Okay. So the cookbook that you wrote will be the dawn of a new way of eating. That you alone taught people how to eat. Everyone in your circle will tell you the exact same thing. Might have something to do with the fact that you're paying everyone in your circle, which again you're assuming, You'll go on talk shows and hear phony paid for compliments. Again, I love this shit. You can't envision people who are charismatic to actually have real friends. Like, your cookbook is the best thing ever, and what's more, you'll believe it. So I hate to destroy the house of cards, Gwen, but that's all this is. Chael Sonnen, who could probably kick your ass, Warcorpse, so I don't know how well it is to fucking shit on him. Chael Sonnen was probably one of the biggest and best trash talkers in MMA history. He was good, never great. Chael certainly held his own in the ring against the best. It's not a ring, it's an octagon. It's a cage. Against the rest, but he never quite be the best. Fuck me. He'll never be the best, I think you're going for. That's not to say he wasn't a talented mixed martial artist, and that's not to say he didn't have a good career. It just wasn't one of those careers. After he announced his retirement, every single MMA news outlet, from Yahoo to Cage Writer, started calling him legendary. Really, Chael Sonnen is one of the legends of MMA. I don't fucking think so. Like I said, Sonnen was good but not great, and certainly not a legend of the sport. If he gets into the Hall of Fame, fine. Remember they put Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner in there for one fight. Take that for what it's worth. It was a good fucking fight, mind you. If I'm thinking of the same fight that you are. For me, the term legend applies to people that have either A, influenced the sport in some massive way, or B, have completely dominated their weight division. Sonnen did neither of those things in his career. Never the champ, but damn close to it. If he influenced the whole sport in some way, I have yet to see it. From your fucking bubble. The only thing that oh my god. The only thing that he did for the sport was legitimize trash talking. The thing about that is, though, if you start going down and allowing trash talking, you run the dangerous line of turning into the WWE. Yeah. All the other major sports have rules about trash talking and sportsmanship. Boxing, it's allowed, but remember, boxing also has a very public, shady aspect to it. I don't know what the UFC is going to do about trash talking, because yes, it started with Sonnen, but it's going to evolve. You know, are you forgetting fucking, shit, what's his fucking name? Shit, it was like the bleach blonde fuck. He had bleach blonde hair, and he was doing like this, I think, against, was it Chuck Liddell? He was like, Tito Ortiz, that's who it was. Yeah, nobody did that shit before fucking, Chael Sonnen. The UFC will have to deal with it, and I guess that's Sonnen's legacy. Does that make him a legend? In my mind, no. In your mind, a lot of fucking things. Anne Rice, the once atheist vampire novelist, then found Christianity. Then when that started not paying the bills, she then became a secular humanist, which, do you realize you can be a secular humanist and actually a Christian? They're not mutually exclusive, you piece of shit. Now she's back at what made her the most money. Creepy things in the night. This is, mind you, after she said very specifically that she would never write about the evil things again. I would never write about something that doesn't bring glory to God, was, I believe, her exact quote, but I could be mistaken. Because you couldn't fucking research this shit. Now it is not surprising to me that she had the sort of conversion and deconversion, even though it's not necessarily deconversion. It's not shocking to me that religion didn't take. She has bills to pay, and the non-vampire novels didn't do it. She pissed all the new Christian fans. The few that there were after she announced her abandonment of the church. So now she says she still believes in Christ, but she just doesn't like his followers, which is fine. Makes me wonder if she had a true belief to begin with, or if it was just a failed marketing ploy. Because apparently you can't join a religion and then go, I like the religion, just the fucking people are shitty. Like, I'm an atheist, you're an atheist, I fucking hate you. Doesn't mean I'm going to not be an atheist anymore. She might have wanted to rebrand herself and get away from the vampires. What better way to do it than with Christian fiction? However, I wonder if she read what the Bible had to say about women being their own voice of God, or just finding him on their own. She probably wouldn't like it, even though that's an interpretation of the Bible and what God said, not what actually God said. But apparently you don't fucking understand that. It says very plainly that women may not be a voice for God. They may not lead a congregation, despite, you should tell all those fucking female preachers out there. They're not even allowed to speak in the house of the Lord. If you don't believe me, read the Bible. Tried, it was boring. At the very least, according to God's holy word, you must have a husband to teach it to you. Don't believe me, read it for yourself. It's in Corinthians. Couldn't actually, quote the fucking passage. Give us a specific fucking thing in Corinthians. Chapter and paragraph. You don't have to give us the line. But, chapter, maybe page number, what version of Corinthians, because there's different fucking versions of the Bible. You fucking dipshit. Different translations of the fucking goddamn Bibles. I fucking hate you, Warcorpse. You joined the church because you wanted some distance from vampires and you got it. And then when the Christian books didn't sell worth a shit, you became a secular humanist. Whatever the fuck that means. You care about humans? You're not trying to use religion to make the world a better place? I may be wrong. Anne may very well believe in the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and that Christ is God's only begotten Son, blah, blah, blah. She may really believe it and really be a follower of Christ. It is also true that what she may or may not believe, if her personal business is what you were looking for, you daft fucking cunt. I just think that her conversion was a little convenient and her renouncement was a little convenient. If you want my thoughts on her as an author, it's simple, she sucks. Okay. So, how long has this been? 39. I'll read this last thing about Katherine Heigl. So, Katherine Heigl. So, Kathy, at one point you were one of the top actresses in Hollywood. You were getting it should be an A-list movie after A-list movie, and 7 to 8 figure checks. Wouldn't 7 to 8? Would that be in the billions? Or no, I guess that would be in the tens of millions. Then, in no small part, thanks to your mother, but you were an adult at the time, so just as much at fault. You started to be a complete cunt. You were so bad that nobody wanted to work with you, so you went from A-list movies and millions of dollars to doing fucking shampoo commercials. Congratulations. Next time, try not being a complete fucking cunt to work with. Just take some of your own fucking advice, you dithering, balding, alcoholic son of a bitch. Try not to be a fucking cunt. Maybe then your channels won't get fucking taken the fuck down. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing to fucking violate the terms of services, even though I probably didn't read the terms of services. And I just was being an abusive fucking cunt to people. Blah, 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 my channel, blah, 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 blah. That's what it fucking sounds like if you watch a fucking Warcorpse video. Anywho, I'm done. Fuck Warcorpse. Here's hoping he keels over from a fucking heart attack one of these days. Fingers crossed. Talk to everybody else.